Henry says, what are your thoughts around podcasts to help our agencies get more clients? Thinking of new ways to grow my agency, but not sure how I would pull off a podcast in a simple and effective way. Okay, guys, I've actually done podcasts before. Like I've hired a company, a podcast valet. In fact, it's called podcastvalet.com. Those guys over there are great. It's expensive, but they do all of the booking and everything for you. They guarantee, like, I guess depending on the package or whatever. When I did it, it was 10 podcast interviews that they booked for us. There was 2 a month, every month for 5 months, and we ended up doing it for 6 months actually. So I did 12 interviews. And it was great. I mean, it really did help us to grow semantic mastery at the time. We weren't as niche or as specific into local SEO as we are now. So it was a little bit of a broader audience that we were reaching out to. But what I would say, if you're trying to grow your agency, it depends on, like, especially if you're in a niche, a specific niche, which if you've been following us for any length of time, you know that I preach that over and over and over again. Then yeah, if you can get into any sort of podcast that would be related to that niche, that industry, etc. Even tangent industries, meaning, industries that are related or that are supporting industries and things like that, it makes sense to try to get on podcasts that cater to those individuals, or that audience, I should say, because then again, it's a huge credibility and authority booster. So you can position yourself as an authority by just being on podcasts. Like, just the nature of being interviewed on a podcast is going to position you as more of an authority. So you will get people reaching out to you that are seeking help and guidance, etc., consultation, whatever. So I think it's a great strategy. It can be expensive, but if you have your marketing and your offer dialed in, and you have your industry dialed in, if you're trying to go broad and be everything to everybody, forget it. You're going to have shitty results. You'll just get interviewed, and you probably won't get much traction out of that. But if you have a specific offer that is dialed into a particular industry or an audience, then you're going to do much better, right? So that's what I would recommend is, Podcast Valet is what I use. I know there's other companies that do that. There's also softwares and apps and stuff now that will help you kind of schedule your own if you want to do it yourself. But my opinion is, unless you already have an offer and everything dialed in that's really working really well for you, you should be focusing more on the marketing and the offer. And let a company that is really good at booking podcasts and all of that, let them handle that, right? Instead of trying to learn that all on your own, in my opinion. Now, if you've already got all that other stuff, the other marketing collateral and everything dialed in, then yeah, go for it. You can probably set it up on your own as well. But I used Podcast Valet, and again, I was really, really happy with them. In fact, I spoke with the owner, or emailed with the owner, probably 5 or 6 months ago, about doing it again. I never pulled the trigger on it because I got so wrapped up with the DHA SOP, like building SOPs and everything for the program we're launching. But I assume once we launch that program and we get through the first cycle of coaching, because that's like a separate coaching program, I'm probably going to do it again, because I think it's going to be a great way to get exposure for that. So I think it's a great strategy.